Hello, hello. Uh, we're here with Cloud.
Hi, it's me, Cloud.
Yeah, that's definitely not me. Um, we're doing a bit of a different video here today. Most of my content lately, and probably for the foreseeable future, is going to be a lot more Wolflord. And it was obviously suggested that I sort of like gloss over a tutorial, because obviously you never really think about like players or people coming by your videos and not understanding the game. You just kind of play with the understanding that people will get what the hell's going on when this game is yeah, like this game is definitely a lot more in depth than I guess is made out in videos. But the easiest and most simple way I can describe it to you with these three sort of rule tabs within the game. So it's like any other social deduction game where you've got a town faction and a werewolf faction, like the classic werewolf game. So town versus werewolves. You also have chaos rolls, thrown in the mix. Basically, all town want wolves there, wolves want all town dead. That's at its core what's going on here. And the game is broken up into phases throughout the day, and that's where I feel this game is a lot better than other social deduction games that you'll come across. A lot of other ones like Town of Salem and Throne of Lies are like about copy and pasting wills,
Yes.
using abilities, copy and pasting it.
Yep.
Yeah, where this one doesn't have a will that you keep. This is at its core more about deduction, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much. So the way the days are structured starts with a morning phase. They're called rounds. The days themselves as a whole are called rounds. So you'll start the game at round 1. It's a morning phase. So round 2, for example, day 2, it says the days start with the morning phase, announcing who, if anyone, has died and any information that might be relevant. So abilities that happen or people that die throughout the night during the morning phase of the next day, all of that information, if public, will be announced. Then they have what's called the debate phase, where everyone can talk, share information, make accusations, deliberate, and such. And that's where you can nominate players to go up for voting. Most games have a guilty to innocent, and if the innocent votes outweigh the guilty, the person is pardoned down. Not with Wolflord. So if someone is nominated, unless the votes are tied with someone else twice, nobody will somebody is hanging that day basically. This isn't about majority of yes votes over no votes. So during the debate phase is also when you can nominate players. And let's say, for example, player 1 is up for nomination, and so is player 2. Once the debate phase is over, you go into a short defense stage. And defense stage is where see, it says here, only players who have been nominated will be able to talk. So once it hits the defense phase, nobody else can speak unless they themselves are nominated. So it allows for players to get sort of a last word in, anything they sort of want to say before it gets to the voting round. So each player can get 1 vote on another player. The player with the most votes is sent to the gallows. And see, in case of a tie between the highest tiered players, a second voting round will start. If this second round also ends in a tie, the day will end. So that's where I was saying you don't get a pardon or guilty vote. You just get a vote on who you think you should hang. You can abstain, but again, unless it's tied twice, somebody will hang. And that's the important part about this game, I think. And after the voting round is done, if someone hangs, their role will be revealed upon hanging. and then the game will go to the night phase. And it says here, nobody is able to talk, where most characters use their secret abilities. This is where the werewolves hunt, by the way. The werewolf faction will hunt, and, you know, town as well as wolves and chaos. Like, this is where most roles are able to use their abilities throughout the game. The werewolves collectively hunt one player that will be put into the dying state. It means that, you know, they're dead. It says, yeah, the dying. If that player is not protected or in any way has dying state prevented, so it's just killing. That's who you'll target to kill, and unless protected, they will be announced dead during the morning phase. And I think I will leave that here for the basic understanding of the game, and I will go into sort of the more finer details on how all of this information is accurate, but there are certain things and cards and rules within the game that can alter the core of the game. But essentially, like I said, you've got wolves and villagers against each other, one trying to kill off the other. As wolves, you're obviously trying to deceive the town, miss lynches, kills, everything of the sort. You know, your morning phase where all your information is shared about the night before. You get to talk about it and nominate people. The people nominated get a chance to defend themselves, and then the players do the voting. Once the voting is done, night phase begins. Abilities happen, wolves hunt, and that's when you revert back to the next morning phase, i.e. the next day. And the game progresses like that until obviously there is a winner declared. But I will go more in depth in another video, and hopefully you can soak up all this word vomit. And I hope it's delicious.
It was.
So I will see you guys very shortly, I would imagine.